I'm Anthony from the Basement Reef. Welcome once again to Plant Talk with the Basement Reef. If you're unfamiliar with us, we're a retail aquatic pet store and houseplant shop located in Columbia, Missouri. But this is our channel where we talk about all sorts of things related to houseplants. If you're interested in aquarium content, we have another channel simply called the Basement Reef. Look for that. We have plenty of aquarium content there, but this one's all about houseplants. And today, I'm here to spotlight a couple of my favorite philodendrons. Philodendrons are wonderful beginner houseplants, meaning that they're tolerant of a lot of things, tolerant of drying out, low light and high light conditions. Don't get me wrong, there's a sweet spot for their care, and there are some that are more difficult than others, but generally speaking, there's a lot of philodendrons out there when you think of a classic houseplant, and there's a reason for that. Now, these aren't the most common philodendrons in the world that I'm spotlighting today. I wanted to start with some that you might be able to find a little more easily, but I have these around the store, and some of them are finding their new owners today, and I wanted to get them on camera and talk about them before that happened. So let's get right to it.
Philodendrons are a fantastically diverse genus of plants, so there really is no good place to start with them. So we'll just start with one that I really like and I'm really happy to have in the shop right now. And that's this philodendron billietiae, or Billy for short. These guys are really cool looking and immediately recognizable. A lot of philodendrons take time to grow into their adult leaf shape and stuff like that, but these look like little tiny versions of themselves almost as soon as they start growing. Characteristics that stand out about a billy versus other philodendrons are the extremely long petioles that make the leaves appear to hover around the whole plant, ruffled leaf edges, long arrow-shaped leaves, and yellow veining across the entire leaf. It's also a very chunky plant. Some philodendrons are dainty, but not this one. Variegated specimens of this plant can fetch many thousands of dollars, but a plain green billy is a fairly obtainable plant. You can get a small one for about $80 to $120 and a very large mature specimen for maybe a few hundred. It's a good entry-level exotic philodendron if you ask me. Next up is a really cool philodendron called a philodendron paraiso verde. These guys had been really expensive for the past couple of years, but lately the prices have come back down a bit, and they're fairly obtainable. These are a really cool plant because they have different variegation on every single leaf. These guys do have some idiosyncrasies though that are worth pointing out. Remember when I said that some philodendrons are very dainty? Well, this is it. And what I mean by that is that when they're young, they're very paper thin, not a very sturdy leaf. That's not a problem, but it is a different look compared to some of these other ones, and they do take a while to really grow into themselves. Additionally, while these do have stable variegation in the sense that the plant will never fully revert, your plant will always have a chance to throw variegated leaves again, the variegation is temperature dependent. In the heat of the summer, it'll throw some fantastically variegated leaves for you, but if you don't provide those same conditions in the winter, it will go back to green for the new growth that happens. Every summer though, it'll come back around. Also, if you propagate this plant, if you cut it at all, the new growth will generally start out green before it comes back as variegated. If all of that sounds good to you though, this is a really cool philodendron and I can't recommend it enough. The next philodendron we have to look at is a relatively new cultivar to the market. This is called a philodendron summer glory. I wanted to get some of these for the shop as soon as I heard about them, which was earlier this year, and I'm glad to finally have them. They are as beautiful as I imagined they would be. The leaves start out with this pink peach sort of color with the pink veins in the leaf, and eventually fade out into a solid green as the leaf matures and hardens off. Like I said, this cultivar was created relatively recently, and this one was created specifically for commercial purposes by Larry Ann Garner, who is a horticulturist with over 42 years of experience doing exactly this, producing new aroids for the market. This one was created by hybridizing an unnamed Macaulay's cultivar, probably similar to this Macaulay's finale here, you can see the similarities, and a philodendron gloriosum, which unfortunately I don't have with me to show you today. The result is a pretty even mix of the two parent plants. It gets the coloration of the Macaulay's finale, but adopts the large leaf shape and crawling growth habit of the gloriosum. Fantastic plant, and I'm sure that this is going to be around in collections for years to come. The last philodendron we'll be taking a look at today is this philodendron snowdrift. I like to think of this one as kind of combining a lot of the features of all the philodendrons we looked at today. It's a big, beefy philodendron, much like the billietiae. It has random variegation on every single leaf, much like the paraiso verde, but it comes in with these fantastic peach and pink tones in the new leaves, just like the summer glory. Now this plant comes from a philodendron called the philodendron jungle fever. If you imagine this, but all green leaves, that's jungle fever. Then, if it grows with this form of variegation, it's a snowdrift. Sometimes though, the jungle fevers will throw some crazy sectoral variegation where entire chunks of the leaf might be green or yellow, and that type of variegated jungle fever can fetch over $1,000. These snowdrifts though are fairly affordable. We're retailing this one at $250, which is not bad considering the rarity of it. That goes to show you that how rare a plant is not always directly correlated with the price. These aren't as available as even mint and Aurea monsteras, but they're much, much cheaper. And that's because supply and demand is what it all comes down to, and these are simply not in as much demand.
Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this today. I hope that you found something to enjoy about that video. I thought that we spotlighted some really cool plants in it. In the future, I'd like to get some more videos onto this channel about care of the plants, not just looking at the plants and telling you what they look like, but also how to care for them. I'm going to do that at home, shoot a lot of these videos at home where we have some more mature house plants. My wife takes care of a lot of those and she's a fantastic grower as well, so I can't wait to show you guys that. Until we get those next videos out and rolling, please subscribe to our channel. It would help us out a lot and it'll let you know when we have things coming out.